Hello everyone, A.M.R. Weather here, and welcome to my Theoryverse tropical weather update, where we'll be talking about everything tropical, including Debbie and possible Ernesto. Here's the sea surface temperatures. I'll zoom in for you guys where each system is. Debbie is in this 31, maybe going into 32 areas around the Big Bend, so that could rapidly intensify. It's only 5 miles per hour now from being a hurricane. So it will become a hurricane overnight, probably at the next advisory at 11 p.m. And possible Ernesto is right here in those higher 29s, some spots even 30. So that will be developing, in my opinion, probably later this week. It now has a 30% chance in a week and 10 in 2 days. But I will show you that when we get to the National Weather Service's page. Here are the models. This is the GFS. They have it making landfall now as a low-end Cat 2. Could that still happen? In my opinion, yes. Here it goes. It goes off the Atlantic, and then coming back ashore in, let's see where, in Georgia, almost to the Florida border as a strong tropical storm, bringing more rain and flooding to the same exact area. And then let's see what it does from here on out. It does another loop-de-loop, comes back off the coast, and strengthens again as a strong hurricane. Let's take a look at the European model. Here's the Euro. You see they have it making landfall as a low-end Cat 1. Coming off the coast, making landfall in South Carolina as a high-end Cat 1, and bringing more flooding to the mid-Atlantic before moving it and booking it out to sea. Finally, here's the Canadian. The Canadian model has it making landfall in Florida as a weak Category 1 hurricane, going off the coast almost for a little bit, but mostly staying inland, bringing more rain and flooding to the mid-Atlantic. And here's that possible Ernesto on the Canadian, making a sharp left turn for Mexico, and making landfall as maybe a Cat 2, maybe even a low-end Cat 3, so who knows? Here's the wind shear. You can see from the newer models that it is still reflecting it heavily, so we'll still have no problem forming at all. Here is the unofficial total rain models from Tropical Tidbits, not from the National Weather Service, but we'll get to that in a second. You can see those bright yellows, I was going to say oranges, no, yellows, over portions of southern Georgia and the Florida Panhandle. That's 24 inches. Same thing in South and North Carolina. They're going to get 22, 24, and even in some spots. So that is crazy flooding. Y'all will have to be on the lookout for that. And make sure to have your notifications on just so you can get any warnings or watches. Here's the vorticity. I haven't shown this before, but in a summary, the closer those bands are together, the stronger the system is, and same with the colors. So here we go. You can see it's very tightly wrapped there. So that would most likely be a Cat 1 or a Cat 2. Coming off the coast and trying to get reorganized, and it does actually a little, before just coming back in and doing whatever steering pattern that is. That would be quite one for the books. Here's the live high-res radar right now. You could see with all those pink and black and grays, that's that high cloud tops, that's that new convection, bringing more flooding to areas like Tampa Bay right here and Cape Coral down there. So yeah, I mean, it's looking like it's getting itself back together again once, finally, and set to become a hurricane by tonight. Here's the 8 a.m. update. You can see Debbie stalling off the coast. Not stalling. You can see Debbie off the coast of Florida, and you can see this 30% system, which will most likely become Ernesto. It has a low percent chance to form in the next week, so I don't expect we'll be seeing anything of it soon, but as we go on, I expect we could be seeing maybe a tropical depression, maybe a tropical storm. Here is the new map of the 8 p.m. advisory. It now has winds of 70 miles per hour, and it is expected to become a hurricane sometime around late night or midnight tonight. Hurricane warnings across portions of the Big Bend and the Panhandle through Apalachicola and Cedar Key. It's expected to stay a hurricane until 2 p.m. Tuesday, where it stays a little bit off the coast, re-strengthens, and makes landfall in South Carolina, moving inland. Here's the new rainfall maps from the National Weather Service. You can still see heavy totals in Savannah and Charleston up to 16, but no longer portions of 20. So that is good, but it's not what we are hoping for. And you can see even those reds, that's a foot of rain going into portions of Florida, Georgia, South, and North Carolina. So y'all are going to have to be on the lookout for flooding. Lastly, here is the ocean heat content. You can see where Debbie is. It is plenty warm, as we said. Where it's going off the coast right here, greens and yellows, that is more than enough to keep this thing powerful. And then where that system is off here, it's going to go into the oranges. So could it strengthen? We'll have to see. Well, I wanted to say thank you, everyone, for joining me in this video. Please leave a like and subscribe so we can get this word out there to everyone who needs to hear it. And like always, stay safe and be prepared.